What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Schneid. We're back. We're back from a little company conference that we do annually. So we're gone for about a week. My voice might be a little on the hoarse side, but we're going to try to make it through. Let's jump right into this. Tyler Emo Cowboy, sorry, popping in here. He's number one in the chat. What's good? I'm good, man. Yeah, Sunzo Gunzo. It's fucking like plus 30 degrees out here. I don't know what that is converted to, Fahrenheit. I'm not sure, but it's 30 something degrees Celsius in Canada, which is warm. Montreal's good. It's a lot of boozing, a lot of schmoozing, that sort of thing. Top 3 sales in the country, though, boys. Your boy right here, top 3 sales in the country. That's what's up. So there you go. Hartman, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in, man. 30 degrees, get the winter jacket. I don't know what that means in American Fahrenheit. Your made up terms of measurement and how that works in the United States. But I think it's like 40 plus 42 or something like that difference. So like 70 something. I don't know. I can't remember what the conversion is from Celsius to Fahrenheit, but it's super hot. It's probably the same as like, I don't know, 80 something for you guys. I would assume maybe it's 50 plus 50 or something like that. That's my amount. Yeah, there we go. 88, 86. Emo Cowboys gotcha. So that's what it would be. Stephen Hines, appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. Putt Daddy, the OG. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming in. We got Best Ball on call. GM. 32 degrees is 0 Celsius. It's 30 plus 32 degrees Celsius, which is about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. That's where we're at. It's hot as balls. I was outside doing yard work, catching up on the yard work after being away. And we're caught up. We're looking good. Golf tournament tomorrow. Stoked. There we go. Yeah, appreciate you. Top 3 in the country. That's pretty good. That helps. Looks good, 80. I would kill for 80. It's already 105. Yeah, that's wild, man. Doesn't get that hot here, but what we're here for. You know what we're here for. We're here to draft. I missed out it's crazy. The Hound Dog launched and filled before I could even draft one while I was away. I was away 4 days, guys. You psychos. Like, I was away 4 friggin' days, and it launched and filled before I could even get a team in. So I'm almost maxed the Schnauzer. I think I have 3 more to do, which I'll probably do tonight because we're at about 96.7% full. I'll do those after the stream, but we're doing Pugs tonight. I'm going to make sure I get into all of these. So let's do 20 seconds. Well, we might have to jump into both, but we're doing a Pug. Let's do 20 seconds first, see how full it is. Waiting on 3. All right, that's what we're doing. We're going to try to get all 3 in tonight on stream. So I'm probably going to do 20-second clocks. And I'm going to fill this, max enter this Pug right now on stream. Let's go. I want to make sure I max enter this sucker. That Hound Dog looked like a good structure too, which kind of sucks because, yeah, I planned on maxing all of those types of tournaments. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Yeah, I just didn't have the time. So yeah, I did because it was only like, a 5 max, right? So like, look at the Schnauzer. It's still open for Christ's sake. And we got this Pug that's a little bit slower. It was a $6 entry, 5 max, I think, for that Hound Dog. Filled up in 4 days, under 4 days. Like, that's insane. But we're waiting on 20-second clock in the Pug if you want to jump in. 2 of 12 in the first round, 1 of 5, 1 of 5, and 124 seat final for $40K up top. 25 for second, 15, 10. Top 4 finish is going to be pretty good. First place, that would be really nice. So I like this structure a lot. 1 of 5, 1 of 5. That's super inviting. What's my Pug strategy? I was just going to get into that. So what's my Pug strategy? Fall ADP or just building game stacks with only 3 rosters? I'm going to... Well, let's see. I want to pull up my all tournaments. So shout out Best Ball Overlay, by the way. I'm using Best Ball Overlay. There's a promo code OTS. It's in the description. So go. I got to get it built into my skin, my background, as you see above and below me and around for the promo code and all that. Promo code OTS on bestballoverlay.com. Go over there. Use the promo code, help yourself out. You'll love it. But anyways, I'll get into more of that about that later. But I'm going to do the all tournaments. So I'm getting the players that I obviously see, value in. I want to get exposure to all that kind of stuff. I am going to build game stacks, but it's nowhere near as important. You really don't need to be perfect in this. A little bit thirsty, like I said, outside in the heat all friggin' day. Like, it's not as important. You don't need to double stack, bring backs, all that kind of stuff. I might just focus on one kind of a game for the final. So week 16, sorry, Jesus, week 17. Can you tell them rusty, boys and girls? Week 17, I want a game stack for sure. Maybe a double stack with a bring back. Single stack with a bring back is fine as well. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to stack up, correlate everywhere. You can take the best player available. A lot of times it's really about getting to the 1 of 5 rounds. It's about getting out of the 2 of 12. That's the biggest strategy in my opinion. And then trying to focus on week 17. 1 of 5 is not exceptionally difficult. Again, if you have the best players. Looking at this, I'm just going to go Puka here. I'm going to bring in Puka. I'm going to get rid of week 15 because it does mess up how you view on here as well. And it's not as important to me. Week 17 is very important to me in this structure. Again, we got 1 of 5, and then 124. So 124 seat final, you're not going to have to be perfect. You're really not. Even the 1 of 5, you're not going to have to be perfect. You might be able to squeak by without having the top scoring wide receiver, running back, whatever. So it's going to come down to a little bit of pod luck, but just take the best players available. But you obviously want a game stack for week 17 when everything kind of matters. You could even take 2 game stacks as long as you're getting like quality players. You're not pulling up guys 2 rounds of ADP difference, right? Like that's where the big kind of difference is for me. That's what I'm going to focus on. Some other stuff, considering it's only a 3 max tournament, there's a lot of trade rumors out there, and there is going to be some surprise trades this year. There has been for the last 2, 3, 4 seasons in a row where there's been some shockers. Even Stephon Diggs, that whole pink powder situation, which is it's kind of hilarious to me. Like, it is pretty funny. I thought the video was ridiculous. Like, I just find humor in that one, but it is pretty messed up, and it's a really bad look. And they're talking that he might get cut, right? So that would be a huge, reason to not want to be drafting a guy like Stephon Diggs in a tournament like this. So we'll see. Like, again, it's not about being perfect. It's just about having the right correlation in the places and the times where it's going to matter. And I haven't drafted AJ Brown yet. I don't think AJ Brown's a good value here. So I'm not going to go down that road. Let's bring in Ladd McConkey or JT. Let's go Jonathan Taylor if I can get him. Yeah, let's go JT first. I like Jonathan Taylor's week 17 against Jacksonville. I like his whole playoff schedule, to be honest with you. But I want to draft guys that I'm high on in this 3 max structure. It's a super small time pod. It might be, Steven, what's happening? Appreciate you coming in, man. It might be a week long while this tournament's open. The Hound Dog obviously was like 4 days, less than 4 days, right? So take the guys that you have strong stands on. You don't have to be perfect. Make sure you advance, and then have a game for week 17. That's my strategy when I'm building tournaments and teams in this type of a structure, or a tournament, or a time pod tournament, that sort of thing. And yeah, you're not going to need double bring backs, double stack, triple stack, double bring back, all this kind of stuff. You're not going to need it. It's really not necessary with the 1 of 5. We're not talking about BBM where it's 1 of 16 and you have to be closer to not necessarily being perfect, but in order to advance through those weeks 15 and 16 rounds, you have to have at the very least the number 1 scoring running back, or mostly in those rounds, the number 1 scoring wide receiver, at least. You can get away with not having the number 1 quarterback and not having the number 1 tight end, potentially. But in a structure like this, you can definitely get away with that. So, yeah, that's my strategy. That's my advice when you're drafting these teams. You don't have to overdo it. BPA, goes a long way. Best player available goes a long way in this structure. So, and I'm rusty. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't drafted since I got back. Well, the first night in Montreal, I ripped a couple drafts because we quit early, and that was surprising. We weren't boozing too late that night, so I ripped a couple drafts in the hotel room. But other than that, yeah, I'm pretty rusty. I'm not gonna lie. It's Devontae or Tyreek. Do I really want to go with Devontae? I could set up that kind of double Rams thing, but I'm going to bring in Tyreek. I think this could work out for me eventually, but I'm going to bring in Tyreek instead of Devontae. I really like Waddle this year. He's getting a lot of good kind of pub right now on the Twitter machine. I think I'm at about 20%. This is set to all tournaments. That's another thing. Like, not only with this, so I'm 26.2% Waddle right now, which feels pretty good. That's another thing I like to do, not only in a time pod tournament like this or like a 3-max single entry. I like to set my parameters to all tournaments. So it's just, who am I high on? What players am I high on that I want to get in this tournament as well? I want to make sure that if it's only a 3-max, 5-max, single entry, whatever, it's guys that I believe in this year, at least to a point. And then I probably won't, it probably will not have Nukua and Tyreek in my other teams that I draft in this pug, but we'll see. We'll see. We're going to max this sucker tonight. So there you go. We'll see how she goes. And I do probably want to stick to my normal strategy, but I might draft running backs a little earlier than I typically would, just because advancing is so important. Getting out of that 2 of 12 is going to be the hardest thing to do. 1 of 5 is still going to be difficult, but there's definitely, outs and routes to get in and out of that. So, yeah, advancing is a huge, portion of this tournament. So who are we going to end up with here? Let's go with Tet. Correlates anyways. I get some serious value. Not some serious, sorry. A couple picks of ADP value. But it does correlate nicely anyways. Let's do that. Let's do that. Couple picks of ADP value. 3 picks on Tyreek. 3 picks on Tet McMillan. And we're falling into correlation. So that sounds good. Like your thoughts on these smaller field tourneys. I often find myself wanting one team with each of the elite QBs in these very limited entry tourneys. I don't hate that. Like, I definitely don't hate that strategy for sure. You could definitely go that route. Like, if you want to draft a naked Joe Burrow, this is a tournament to do it. Absolutely. That's a fine strategy to draft naked Joe Burrow. If this guy's trying to push him, if that happens with both of these, Cincinnati drafters, if they try to push Joe Burrow, I'll take him. I'll take him right here. Absolutely. Because I agree with that. And you do not have to have correlation. You really don't. You really don't. It would be nice in week 17. But if I'm getting a guy like Joe Burrow and they're playing the Arizona Cardinals in week 17, yeah, give me the tight end, give me Gesicki. And then I don't know if I could get a bring back, cool, but it doesn't really matter, honestly. It depends on who you have up top, especially if I have some correlation with my, wide receivers or running backs, stuff like that. Like, if I can make something happen there, like, it's definitely a fine strategy to take a naked Joe Burrow in this. And there he goes, naked. Oh, with Chase Brown, I suppose. But the pick was probably Hurts for this guy, but that's okay. Do I just take Hurts? Probably, especially rushing quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Yeah. 5-pick discount. Tush push lives. I mean, yeah, give me Jalen Hurts. There you go. I'm going to take him naked. Maybe I'll bring in Goddard, maybe, but I really don't care. Probably bring some sort of Buffalo player, but I do in almost every team. I have a Buffalo Bill on almost every team I draft. Tyreek is going to punish us for allowing him to fall past the mid-third. I think Tyreek is a fine click. I really do. I'm not ready to throw in the towel on Tyreek Hill just yet. Could that hurt me? Yeah, sure. Definitely could. But it's still Tyreek Hill. As long as Tua's on the field, that's always what it boils down to. Tua's got to be on the field. You know, maybe Quinn Ewers can do enough if there's an injury. Maybe there'll be a value vet at some point. I'm not ready to throw in the towel on Tyreek. I'm taking a fair amount of him. If he falls into the 30s, I'm gonna get a fair amount of him. Man, I can't get enough water these days. It is so hot. It's crazy. This is not Canadian weather typically. We're really clicking Marvin Harrison Jr. over Tyreek. Seems absurd. I agree. I like Marvin Harrison this year. I really do. I didn't like him at all. I didn't take a single share of him last year. But I do like him this year. But I am taking Tyreek Hill over him. I think. What do my rankings say? 23 for Tyreek. 25 for Harrison. Yeah, I got Tyreek ranked ahead of him. So I agree with that. I'm not doing it either. Steve, how are you, man? Appreciate you coming in. Ripping a pug. I'm going to max the pug tonight. Kind of right now. Let's take Chris Godwin, pair him up with Tyreek. I think that works. It's him or Trevion Henderson. Let's go Godwin. Let's go Godwin. Henderson might have been the correct click there in this tournament. Nice to have 2 more pugs to do. Yeah, I'm ripping all 3 tonight on stream. Yeah, I think Henderson might have been the correct click if I'm being honest, but I'm going to set up that little game correlation with Tyreek Hill. If I'm having naked Jalen Hurts, I mean, maybe I bring in Mayfield or Tua. Maybe Tua makes more sense, but not particularly in this tournament. But I mean, I took Godwin, so couple picks to ADP value on Godwin. Let's do that. Henderson, what's his ADP at now? I have him ranked at 63. His ADP is 64. He got some value here, so that's nice. Henderson might have been the correct click. But yeah, we're going to rip all 3 pugs tonight. I'm a little butthurt, a little upset about not getting any Hound Dogs in. So I'm going to just max enter the pug tonight. I got a golf tournament tomorrow, so I can't really draft. I'm going to draft some schnauzers after the stream is over, and we'll see how she goes. Shakir could work as a bring back. He goes. That's fine. I wasn't going to actually click him. It doesn't make sense to take a bring back for the Bills game right here. It's definitely going to be one of these running backs. Most definitely. So Caleb, sure. Yeah, let's go Caleb Johnson. Yeah, let's go Caleb Johnson. Let's go Caleb. Steve, please announce when you're running those last 2 pugs so I can stay out of your lobby. I might try to get into Cody's next one. There we go. Jump in. Antwall, what's happening, man? Heading to Top Golf. Nice. Yeah, I got a scramble tomorrow. I got a scramble golf tournament tomorrow. I'm super excited about it. We won a scramble at this course that we're playing at tomorrow. So it should be good. Hopefully we have a good shot. I'm sure we'll have a good shot. It's just a matter of making birdies. Yeah, we'll be here. I'm ripping all 3. This is one of 3 pugs tonight. They're going to be 20-second clocks. Got to try to get them all in a reasonable amount of time. And then, yeah, I'll be drafting my last couple schnauzers. I think I got 3 schnauzers left. I got a slow. So I'll be ripping a couple schnauzers in there to finish that up. Champ X takes a Baker, naked Baker. Okay. Just didn't want me to have that game. That's fine. That's fine. Does that mean I just take Tua? Probably. Probably. I mean, I'm banking on Hurts for the most part on this one. It actually, as long if he doesn't take Ayuk, it makes sense for me to take Brandon Ayuk here. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to take Brandon Ayuk here. Because if there is some sort of issue with Godwin, you know, he'll be starting the year for sure. And then if there's an injury that has happened, you know, early in the season, then we can get Brandon Ayuk back. I've got the floor and ceiling of Nakua and Hill, and then Ted McMillan, rookie, a little bit of an unknown. But I don't mind pairing up Godwin and Ayuk in a situation like this. I like that. I like that. Opens a quarterback door for me as well, which is something I kind of want to do. I really don't want Tua in a structure like this, but I don't mind that game stack with Godwin and Tyreek. I don't mind it at all. So we'll see how that goes. We building that all pup all stars or what? Trying. 40K up top is nice, man. That's really nice. 124 seat final. This is very achievable, which is what I like about it. 150 min cash kind of in the final. That feels pretty good. What's the max enter? $36. $36. You get that back with the second round. If you get to the semis, you get that back plus a little. Yeah. This is a fun structure. I love these types of tournaments. I really do. I really like these types of tournaments, which is why I'm not happy I didn't get any Hound Dogs in, but I was busy. What do you want from me? Nothing you can do. Real life gets in the way sometimes, you know? Justin Fields would be great on this team, but by week 9, that's not going to happen. Man, I crushed my water. I might have to go get some more water. Yeah, Steve likes the structures as well. Absolutely. Sup pups, Pepper Tony. Appreciate you coming in, man. We'll make our pick and then we'll talk about this quickly. Trey Harris could make some sense. Coleman makes some sense. Tyrone Tracy could make some sense. Let's do that. Let's do Tyrone Tracy. I can take a chance with a guy like Tyrone Tracy when I've got Jonathan Taylor and Caleb Johnson here. Bye weeks don't match up, which is kind of nice. I like his playoff schedule. I like Scatabo more, but he's obviously not here anymore. So it is kind of a cliff after this. I don't mind Najee, especially in this structure, but it's kind of dicey at running back after Tyrone Tracy. Not that Tyrone Tracy isn't dicey, because he absolutely is, but yeah, it gives me that flexibility when I have those top 2 running backs that I really like. Am I doing any super flex or eliminators? I am doing eliminators. I'll probably get up to like, I don't know, 50. I've only done 1. So I need to get some reps in on that eliminator. I just haven't had time with everything else I'm drafting right now. Once I finish this Schnauzer, finish this pug, and then that's pretty much it. And then, yeah, I can rip some eliminators, get a few more weekly winners in. I'm doing those. What else am I doing? Not doing the sprint, not doing the marathon. So yeah, should have a little bit more time to rip some of those stuff, but I'm not doing super flex. I just don't like the super flex. I know PPR Tyler would be, punch in the air right now here in this, but I just really don't like the super flex structure and tournament. So I won't be doing any of those. So yeah, it is what it is. Sorry about it. Sorry that I'm not sorry. But yeah, eliminators, I gotta get some more reps in the eliminators, that's for sure. We're on deck. Nick R. Stevens here. He left me Brock Purdy, so I'll take him. Fits with my Ayuk. Let's do it. Let's take Brock Purdy. Done at quarterback now. Hurts and Purdy, obviously. Got a little week 17 stack with Ayuk. Bring back in week 16, with Jonathan Taylor against San Francisco. That feels nice. Just some correlation that lined up. Easy peasy, didn't force it, lined up. There you go. Oops. Guessing we will get a couple more this week with the Schnauzer filling in the next day or two. I don't think they will. I think they'll let it simmer for a bit, let some of the other tournaments, catch up, get some movement. As much as some people on the interweb, on the Twitter machine get, upset with not having an option, but the super flex is going to be there. They got to fill that. I don't think there'll be anything else that comes out for a little bit. Maybe the Poodle one, maybe. But that's about it. And that'd be like a $20 5 max or $20 10 max or something like that. But we'll see. I think they're going to let some of the other tournaments get some love and get some fill, but we'll see. I'm jamming in as many Superflex as I can right now. Field is soft. Yeah, if you get in early and you feel like you have an edge, then absolutely rip it. Like I just don't feel like I have an edge. I'll be straight up. I'll admit it. I don't think I have an edge at all at Superflex. So if I don't think I'm good at it or have an edge in any way, then why would I draft it, right? Like, I'm willing to admit to myself and you guys that it is not a strong structure for me. So there you go. I'm not going to force it when there's tons of other stuff to draft, right? I'm going to go David Njoku here. I think that makes a lot of sense. Could go Ramondre, but actually Besh makes some sense. Yeah, with my Tyrone Tracy and my bye weeks are okay. That's a fine. I mean, Njoku's fine too. Man, these clocks go fast. So yeah, if you feel like you have an edge and you get in early, especially when ADPs haven't done anything, then yeah, it can be pretty soft. But I just don't. I don't have an edge on it at all. Comparing the risk reward of the sprint, I find myself pretty out on the tourney. May fire 10, 20 teams. Yeah, sure. If you want to get some sweat, if you get one team, into the final, it's 3 weeks worth of a sweat sort of thing. So it could be fun. I don't feel a need. I don't see it. I'm going to do weekly winners. Let's go back to the lobby quick. I think there's another one I'm forgetting. I'm not doing the marathon. I'm not doing the sprint. I'm going to max enter BBM. I'm not doing the big dog, obviously. Eliminators, I'm going to get, maybe up to 50 or so in. And then weekly winners, I'm probably going to get maybe up to 50 as well. Schnauzer Pugs. So I guess that's it. The eliminator and the weekly winners is what I'm going to be focusing on once I'm filled on these other tournaments, on the Pug and the Schnauzer. So yeah, I've got time. Especially with, I could have taken Goddard here if it made sense, and it kind of does, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. Probably one of these running backs. I'm not taking a quarterback again, although it does, help your advance rate. That's definitely going to be Benson here. No question. No question. Easy click. Or is it Ray Day? No, I'd rather a pass catcher. I guess Josh Palmer makes sense. Although it sounds like Eli Mitchell's getting some, or Eli Moore's getting some buzz. So yeah, the sprint could be fun. Sprint is actually a pretty decent format, but I don't like the price point. It is not a bad format. Like as far as the sweat, right? Like I said, you get 1 or 2 into the finals, you have a 3-week sweat. You're not exactly out of it. So it is kind of a fun tournament. It's just, I don't feel the need. I just don't, honestly. Like it's a bit of a different strategy. So I don't feel like trying to put together a whole strategy for, another style of tournament. Yeah, it's just not for me. And you gotta call it quits somewhere. Like you gotta find your entry points to where you think you have an edge and where you think you can make some money. Like I just think that like tournament selection, really gets like underplayed and not talked about enough. Like you really should be thinking about tournament selection, especially if you don't have an unlimited budget like myself and most other people. Like I don't have an unlimited budget here, so I can't just rip everything. So I'm not doing certain tournaments. I'm just not. I just don't feel the need, and I don't see like any sort of value or edge for me. So that's kind of my 2 cents on it. Probably a wide receiver here. I guess I'll take QJ. Let's take QJ. I think he's fine here. I think it makes sense. I need a wide receiver. I'm a Superflex fish, but even I think these Superflex lobbies are soft for sure. Again, they probably are. I just don't feel the need. I don't. But the price point is what lets it have a nice format. Yeah, I hear that. Superflex has been filled at a consistent rate. Still will be about a month to fill, but I'm guessing they feel good about how it's filling. Probably, yeah. I mean, it's the price point. Like people are talking about, Pepper Tony is talking about. Price point makes it easy to get into, right? So people are going to rip it whether they like it or not, or they know what they're doing or not, or there's an edge or not. But again, I'm more focused on my where I feel like I have an edge and the tournament. Like there's going to be a lot of tournaments released this summer, guys. A lot. So I'm trying to, plus I'm max entering the Best Ball Mania. So that's a pretty big chunk of change right there. So max entering Best Ball Mania, and then all of the like 5 max, 10 max, those type 3 max, single entries, I'll probably be ripping stuff like that. So, and then all of like the weekly winners, the eliminator, right? There's just so many. Hound Dog feeling like 4 days was disgusting. We're a bunch of animals. I agree, man. I thought I was going to be able to get it in when I got back, but here we are. And I wasn't able to get any. So that kind of stinks for me, but it is what it is. Hound Dog fill rate was indeed startling. You bet. Yeah, it was pretty depressing to not be able to get any of them in. Let's do Algier. Little game stack with Puka. I like that. Could I be done at 5? Probably not. Probably a 2-6-8-2 kind of a team. I wouldn't mind an extra tight end, but we'll see how this works out. I don't think it's going to make sense to take 3 tight ends with this build. I don't. Oy. It's getting. I might have to though. We'll see. Underdog is pure printing off of sickles of all these 20-second lobbies we're going to burn through contests. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Green Bean, what's happening, man? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. It's hard jumping between different formats and readjusting strategy each time. Focusing on tourneys with similar format to be is probably smart. Yeah, it's just easier that way. Like again, that's my main focus. And then the eliminator strategy is different. The weekly winners strategy is different. And even like going from BBM to a tournament like this Pug, there's a different strategy there. It's not exceptionally different. It's not super flex, right? Like, but there is a little bit of a difference in strategy. So, yeah, I just don't think like you said, like jumping between strategies, trying to do different things, trying to get it right. Like, and then you're just like, I just feel like it's not very efficient drafting wise. That's kind of how I feel about it. You're just like literally scratching off tickets. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to win. I'm sure we all are. We're all trying to win, but like, it's not easy. So you do everything you can to make it easier on yourself, right? It's kind of the way I see it. Man, there's really nothing here. Pat Bryant, I guess, but I'd rather not get another week 12 bye. Let's just bring in Keenan. I don't really like any of these running backs particularly. Let's just bring in Keenan Allen and hope he lands in a decent spot. Like, if he gets a reasonable landing spot, give me Keenan over Hopkins. Give me Keenan over Pat Bryant, probably. Give me Keenan over Alec Pierce, you know? So let's do that. I built an awesome eliminator team, then realized it was a BBM, not a limb. Yeah, that's what I mean. You're bouncing between, you forget what you're doing, right? So, eliminator ass team. Who aims? What's up, brother? Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate you. Hit that like and subscribe button, guys. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you appreciate the content, hit that like button if you don't mind. And again, I don't have it anywhere on here yet, but we're officially hooked up with Best Ball Overlay. So use promo code OTS. Link is in the description. Click that, OTS, 25% off. Boom. Help a brother out. And help yourself out, man. If you're not using some sort of overlay, hopefully it's Best Ball Overlay. But if you're not using some sort of overlay, you're really doing yourself a disservice. You really, really are. I really, really, genuinely, completely, fully agree with having an overlay if you're doing any kind of volume. You really, really should. Really should. I know what I'm going to do at tight end. So I need another running back and wide receiver. I think I know the running back I want. And the wide receiver. I'm not really sure what I want to do at wide receiver. But I'm going to take Dyami Brown. Or Slayton. I just like Slayton better as a player, is really what it boils down to there. Yeah. Dyami Brown I kind of wanted with the Jonathan Taylor game stack, but yeah. I really just don't love Dyami Brown as a player. Really don't. Algier is going to win people a lot of money sooner or later. Yeah. Yeah, if there's an injury to Bijan, like, okay, let's say over the summer, God forbid, Bijan tears his ACL. Where does Tyler Algier go in best ball drafts? Probably in this range right here, 4th, 5th round, right? Right around Cook, Harvey, Kenny Walker, somewhere like that. I don't know. Right around here, yeah. 60s, I would say. Late 50s, early 60s is probably what his ADP becomes if there was an injury. So, yeah. Let's do, don't think this guy will take a tight end, but maybe. But it's going to be Juwan Johnson. I just think he makes the most sense down here if I'm, forced into a 2 tight end build, which I feel like I am. So let's do that. And then we're going to take one more running back to round out this team. And call that good. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, Best Ball Overlay is such a great resource. You betcha. The website's either coming. I don't know if I know I have access to it. I haven't even been on it yet, but I'm pretty sure I have access to it. I think that's an early access type of a thing, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I'm still getting acclimated to what's been going on in the Best Ball streets since I was gone. Like 4 days and the world changes. Like, it's wild. It's wild how much change. Not literally, but like things change. Things have, especially in the Best Ball Overlay space. Pat and Josh are doing a great job over there. So the promo code is active. Like I said, it's in the description. The link is in the description. Promo code OTS. Help a brother out. I got to get some time to get the skin together that you see behind me. But yeah, it'll get there. It's coming along. Yeah, I don't think the website is live yet for everyone, but I believe maybe this week. Okay, cool. So I got to get in there and do some looking around and see how it works. I think I have kind of exclusive access, not just me, a few people. Steve might as well have exclusive access to that, the website. So I'm stoked to get in there and take a look around and see how it looks and works. So I'm really excited to check that out, which is coming this week, sounds like. So there we go for everybody. It's going to be a little bit game changing. So appreciate those guys for putting that all together and hooking me up with the promo code for the peeps. Injuries are why I'm keeping about 5 BBM slows running through June, July. It would be nice to be on the clock when we receive news, then lead RB won't be participating. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like to do that too, but I really don't like being in slow draft hell. I really hate it. I mean, kind of in slow draft hell right now. I think I have because of the puppy. I'm going to bring in Brashard Smith. You'll see by my exposure there, he's my most drafted player in this draft cycle so far. And I'm going to keep clicking him. Like if he's my most drafted, I want him in this pug. So there you go. We got Brashard Smith and we're done. 2682 for the first draft. Yeah, I like doing this as well. But again, yeah, I hate being in slow draft hell. So, but it can be lucrative. It cannot matter. Yeah. But let's wrap up this team here. We got Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, a couple quarterbacks that I like, space them out just enough. Got a little bit of ADP value on both. Bye weeks don't line up. Makes tons of sense. Jonathan Taylor, Caleb Johnson, Tyrone Tracy, Trey Benson, Tyler Algier, Brashard Smith. I really like that good mix of rookies, vets, second-year players, opportunity, injury upside. JT is, I think, a stud this year. And then Brashard Smith might have some end-of-season value there. Puka Nacua, Tyreek Hill, Tedero McMillan, Chris Godwin, Brandon Ayuk, Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen, and Darius Slayton. I like that. A little too much by week 14, but that's okay. I could have gotten out of that with Diami Brown with the game stack as well, but I just like Darius Slayton more as a player than Diami Brown. And then I had David Njoku and Juwan Johnson as my tight ends. So yeah, slow draft hell a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drafts going right now. 4 puppies to get me to my even number of 50, which is nice. And then 1 slow Schnauzer and then the slow Best Ball Mania. So this is too much for me. I don't really like it, but I wanted to get my puppies in. So there you go. I am going to run and get some water quick. And then we're going to rip pug number 2. I ripped through that water. So give me 2 seconds, guys. I'll be right back. Actually, this is really hilarious. I'm wearing these shorts. Probably can't really see them, but they have pugs on them. So there you go. Very serendipitous. All right. Let's catch up on the chat. My Spike Week subscription ends on the 23rd. What's the annual cost for the overlay? I'm not sure what the annual cost is. Monthly, it's, I think, $40. And then use promo code OTS. Get yourself 25% off on that. I'm not sure what the yearly is. because I'm not paying for it yearly personally. So yeah, if you want to jump in there, you can, I'm sure you can get it annually, especially when the website's live. It will be worth it for a lot of different reasons, tracking, whatnot, same like Spike Week. But I'm not sure what it is annually. I'm sure they have an option. Either way, use promo code OTS, help yourself out, help me out. There you go. They just need a tap for slows specifically. Yeah, I agree with that. I won't enter slows until they separate them from fast drafts on your draft scheme. Fair enough. Yeah, what Huhaim said. There you go. Fair enough. It is kind of annoying. And yeah, you got to, especially if you're multi-tabling and you're in slow draft hell, it's like, yeah, slow draft hell sucks indeed, but a valid way to log some volume during cap news months. Market has been very sharp to adjust to news. Definitely. I agree. Like that is part of the reason why I don't mind having at least a couple BBMs rolling. Just because, especially in the middle of June, right? June 20th, most camps open. So there you go. And that's when stuff starts to take place, injuries and whatnot, holdouts. We already have some James Cook news. There's already the Stephon Diggs situation. So yeah, there's almost zero edge in entering lobbies after news breaks. I mean, if you're sharp on your ranking, like who was it that I had way higher? I can't remember who it was. I mean, whenever injuries happened, or I can't remember, after the draft, I think maybe it was, right? Where it's like, man, this guy should be going up here with these guys. I can't remember who it was, but if you're good with if you're sharp with your rankings, then it can make sense right after news breaks, and say, okay, if then, right, if this player's not there, then where does he go? Like we just talked about with Algier. Like if Bijan tears an ACL, he becomes a mid-50s pick. So a lot of times people will get into lobbies, hope to push him to like even the 70s, 90s, whatever. If you take him where he should go and where he will, CLV wise, closing line value, where he will go, then you're getting some value. So there can still be an edge if you're sharp with your rankings and if it's drastic enough. Love to see it as lifetime pug owner. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's got pugs and watermelon on these shorts. I love these shorts. Any major golf major teams left? No, I only did like 15 of those drafts, so it's not really enough. I don't really do well. I do really well in DFS golf, but I don't do very well in best ball golf. So I'm going to stick to DFS. We're getting into another pug number 2 of 3. So it's going to be a 20-second clock. Jump in right now. Waiting on 6. 20-second clock in the pug. Draft number 2 of 3 tonight. We're going to just max enter the pug. Then I'm going to finish up my schnauzers tonight off stream. And we're gonna have some fun with that. The hour of the Pickens news hit. I entered 4 BBMs. Pickens went 2-3 turn. Wow. In the first 5-6 turn, that's fine. I was able to land 1 share at 71. Decided I was wasting entries chasing, but that was value though. You didn't though, right? Because where's Pickens go now? 50s, 56 or something, 52, 53. We'll call it 52, right? That's fine. Like that's where he was going is the 5-6 turn, right? Or where he is going now, maybe 4-5 turn. But yeah, no, that like you kind of made the point here. Like if you got him at you got him at 71, that's a massive discount. That's a huge value, right? So, I mean, the 2-3 turn, yeah, too early. 5-6 turn, perfectly acceptable. Pick 71, hell yeah, that's massive amounts of value. So, I mean, you did do it right. You did get some value. I mean, I think that's just my opinion on it, but yeah. How do we think this would look? Do you think this looks good? I don't know. I don't really like it. Maybe it's good. I don't know. I got to change some things with we got the 2 spot. That's good. Who's wasn't paying attention enough. We got the 2 spot. We got Kramer 222. I think is probably in the chat. Maybe not, but Fantasy 420. That's a sweet name, but I don't know if he's in the chat. We got Champ X in the 9. Arizona AZ Mountain Man in 10 spot. Steve Schaup in the 11 hole. think that's it. If you're in here, let me know. Let me know if you're in, you're drafting with us. Crossface is in here. Appreciate you coming in, man. We're ripping one of 3 drafts tonight. Sorry, 2 of 3 drafts tonight. We're filling the pug. We're filling the pug. 1 stream, 3 pugs, 1 stream. Let's do it. Let's do it. So yeah, I'll make sure I have all tournaments set on Best Ball Overlay, promo code OTS. And I'm only doing week 15 and 16 because I don't think it's as big of a deal. CeeDee Lamb is my number 2 ranked. And that's who I'm going to go with. Because I really, really like him, obviously. And I might not get another chance to draft him in this tournament. So do it. Took Puka Nakua in the first one. I might toggle back and forth. I should be able to remember, considering I just did the draft. I should be able to remember who I drafted in that first one, because I don't want to take. I might take Jonathan Taylor in this, maybe, but I don't want too much crossover unless it just absolutely makes sense. There's ADP value. There's some minimal correlation. That's not particularly a tiebreaker again in this structure for me. So I'm not going to worry too much about correlation realistically. Like you could say in this tournament and these types of tournaments, and in this tournament, obviously we know that running backs and quarterbacks lead to a higher and a better advance rate. And that's the most important thing in this tournament, is advancing to that 1 of 5 week 15. Right? 1 of 5 week 15, 1 of 5 week 16, 124 seat final. The hardest thing is going to be advancing out of the pod, out of the 12 pod, right? That's 1 in 6. So it's literally the harder thing to do. So you could say that in a structure like this, quarterbacks are a premium and running backs are a premium. But we'll see. We'll see how it kind of shakes out. Like Christian McCaffrey at the 10, that's a good pick regardless. But yeah, that's totally, that makes sense. That's kind of what you do. Ashton Genty, sure. I would take Christian McCaffrey over Ashton Genty personally. But yeah, fine click. In the end, it was going to cost current ADP to get Pickens if you drew a front end slot and a slight value if you drew back end slot. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, regardless, if you're getting him at a value, at a CLV value. So again, it depends on where you would slot him in rankings wise. I had Pickens moving to basically right around roughly where he was or is now. Sorry. Where do I have my rankings? So I have Pickens right here, 50. So still 2 spots ahead of ADP. He's been rising. So I was way ahead of his ADP. I have him at 50, right? So any value there, and any ADP value, if you get him in the 60s, massive amount of value, right? So that's just how I kind of look at it. Like as long as you're tight with your rankings and you feel like you're accurate with your rankings, then you can definitely still take advantage of it when news breaks. Now Pickens at 2-3 turn for the double. Now pick up Pickens 2-3 turn for the double. No. I don't think it's necessary in this. Dirty Piece so all in on CMC. Yeah, I think he's all the way back, probably. I'm going to be at least at the field. At the very, very least, I'm going to be at the field 8% on Christian McCaffrey, probably more like 10 to 12, depending on where he stays. If I can get him in the second round, anywhere in the second round, I'll be picking him every single time. If I'm on the turn here, and I would probably still just pick him at 10, 11, 12. But if for some reason he's 13, 14, 15, whatever, give me Christian McCaffrey every single time. Realistically, should have been doing it the whole time, but here we are. T. Higgins goes to the Bijan drafter, Kramer. Like I said, I was alluding to there, like, correlation is really not nearly as important. And if I can get some value, I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor. I have him ranked at 17. Getting him at 23, it's a couple picks of ADP value. I really like the click. Let's just do it. Let's bring him in. My ranks say Garrett Wilson. Let's do Garrett Wilson. Let's do it. I like those playoff matchups. Opens a quarterback door. Yeah. Let's stick to my ranks. Wasn't going to take Tyreek there regardless. So it was between Terry McLaurin and Garrett Wilson. And with Terry McLaurin, like, sure, if Jane Daniels falls to me, wonderful. At 47 here, but it's not necessary. I still would have the game stack, and I could just bring in Dak. But I kind of like the Garrett Wilson click more. Where are we? I'll have 12 to 16% CMC at the cost of Amon-Ra and Henry. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. If you're right, you're right, right? I mean, you could have Amon-Ra and Henry in a lot of teams. So, but he could, he has number one overall upside. So it's not bad. I'm not going to hate on it. That's for sure. Nice. I'm higher on Taylor as well. I have a ton of him so far. Yeah. I'm pretty in on Jonathan Taylor this year. I don't think I honestly think there's an opportunity that their offensive line is better this year. I really do, especially if Braden Smith is, got his things figured out, his mentals figured out, and he's all the way back. Bernard Ryman is like super underrated considering the dude played fucking tight end in college. Like, that's crazy. And he's got like 32-inch arms and he's playing left tackle and excelling at it. So yeah. And then obviously Quentin Nelson's still there. But honestly, I think they could possibly be better on the O-line. I really do. So give me JT. Nick Bach, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming in. Nick Bachledge. Why? What's the WTF about? What's going on? What's going on, man? Fill me in. Maybe 4% of Monroe Henry with overflow earmarked for CMC. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's fine. Like, I just don't want to get burned again. Whether he like has an issue in camp or is delayed coming in, whatever, or, he just gets injured again. So I'm not going to get burned either way. Again, I'll be closer to the field than I will like 16%, but 12%, I could see myself getting towards that mark. Ben Haskell, what's happening, man? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. GT going is way too cheap. I agree. I think, I think he should be going ahead of Bucky, ahead of Devon Achane. I don't see too much of a difference between Ashton Genty and Jonathan Taylor. I really, 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 really don't. But most people obviously know how much I'm a little fadey on Ashton Genty. But there you go. Fade the big dog at your own peril. Talking about Derrick Henry, I'd imagine. I'm not fading Derrick Henry, I'll tell you that. Mind you, I am behind, that's for sure. Sorry, that was my way of saying hello. Fair enough, man. Appreciate you coming in. Hit that like button, guys, if you don't mind. Smash the like. If you're new to the channel, you like the content, hit that subscribe button. Ben Haskell, JT over Bucky, Achane for me as well. There you go. I'm high on JT. Yeah. Above those backs. AJ Brown as well. Definitely above AJ Brown. Yep. That's why I don't have a single share of AJ Brown yet. Not a single AJ Brown share. I think second round is too pricey for AJ Brown. There, I said it. If he fell to like the 1-2 turn, yeah, give me some AJ Brown. Yeah, right around here, 23 to 26. I could be talked into AJ Brown, but where he's going, it's too pricey for me. So I like almost everybody else around him more. So that's where I'm at. What are we doing here? Cortland Sutton and Cook don't look super, super tempting to me. I guess it's just DK with all the value. Or yeah, let's do that. I don't want to take George Pickens. I really don't. Or do I? Maybe I take him here. Let's gamble. Yeah, I guess I do. Let's take George Pickens here. Double stack Dallas. I guess that works right at my rank of 50. I'm not in love with that pick, but we did it. We did it. So we're gonna live by the sword, die by the sword on that one. Their run first team. Talking about the Eagles, I imagine. Yeah, I'm just low. I'm just low on AJ Brown at cost. I'm low. I'm very low on AJ Brown at 17th overall. Literally, I like all of these players. Maybe not Josh Jacobs, but literally all of these second round picks, all of them, I like more than AJ Brown. So pretty tough click for me. Slightly off topic, perhaps, but I'm hearing reports that Pacheco has added weight coming into the season. Is there a more bearish signal for a running back than bulking? I mean, it didn't really particularly work for Najee. Like he put on some bills and then slimmed down. It didn't really work for Lamar Jackson either. He's not a running back, but he runs a lot. Didn't really work for him to put on some weight, but I do like Pacheco. My concern with Pacheco is always that the dude runs way too hard for his own good. The motherfucker runs like he's mad at the ground, man. Like he runs way too hard. He puts himself in danger, and he has gotten hurt a lot in his career. So, yeah, I do like Pacheco, though. Don't get me wrong. There's just a time and a place and a price that I'm willing to take Pacheco personally. What am I at so far this year? Not a lot. I'm pretty high on him in the big board because he was going 40 picks below this. 87 ADP right now. My average on Pacheco at one point was 120. So, yeah. And it's probably ended up at 117 maybe, something like that. So still what, 40? Yes, 30 picks of ADP difference with my Pacheco shares. I have him ranked a little behind his ADP right now, and that won't change. So 1.5%. Yeah. 1 BBM I've taken him so far. That's it in 80 something drafts. So I think he's fine. There's a time and a place and a price that I'm willing to pay for Pacheco. And, in the big board, I was willing to pay that a lot. Like at one time I was like 40% Pacheco because he just kept slipping to the 110s, 120s, shit like that. And I was like, hey, I'll click him every time. Every single time I'll click him there. And I did. And then people started to catch up and he wasn't going that late in drafts anymore, which he shouldn't have been. So that's my spiel on Pacheco. Just noticed as in your lobby, I had to check for your live. There you go. Appreciate you coming in, man. Yeah, we're ripping all three of these pugs tonight. This is number 2. We have one more pug to do. And yeah, we're ripping all three. I'm upset for not getting any hound dogs in. So there you go. I'm going to have a lot of Elijah Mitchell and wouldn't be surprised to see Chiefs add someone if Pacheco's out. Chubb, yeah, out of steam. I like Brashard Smith a lot. That's what, Ben Haskell as well. 30% Brashard Smith. I'm 33% Brashard Smith. 32.3 plus I just drafted him in the first pug. So yeah, I'm very high as well on Brashard Smith. So very high. Very, very high. Definitely be taking a running back here, but let's bring in Jerry Jeudy to pair up with Metcalf. Just a little game correlation. It makes a lot of sense for this team regardless. So that's like the correlation doesn't particularly matter. It's nice, but it just makes a lot of sense for this team. So let's do that. And then it's going to be one of these two running backs. Doesn't really matter which one. I took Caleb first one, so I would rather actually it would probably go Pollard instead, actually. That's probably what would do. Actually, I don't want Judkins either. Jeez. I guess it's just Pollard. Man, I think I like Quinshon too much to just not take him. Like, let's do Pollard. It's the more correct click. Let's do it. It's pretty hard to just bet on the Cleveland Browns offense like that. Let's just take Pollard. Oh wow, there goes Pacheco. 12 picks, a full round of 80 ahead of ADP. So there you go. I don't like that click, but okay. Let's make the correct click and take Pollard. Damn, it didn't get back in time. Auto pick Burrow. I mean, that's not a bad thing. That's a good looking team right there. I mean, I'm sure you're looking to pair up, some San Francisco potentially, or maybe Chicago, but no. So, I mean, you could do a lot worse than Joe Burrow. That's for damn sure. Come from a Bengals fan. Yeah, nicely played. There you go. It's not a bad team at all. That's not a bad auto at 63. Like I said, in this structure, Joe Burrow naked is a fine strategy. 124 seat final, 1 of 5, 1 of 5. Like, take naked Joe Burrow and don't apologize for it. I think it's an absolutely fine click. I really, really, really do. So, what is Kramer doing? We got Bijan, T, Terry McLaurin. Gets sniped on Jaden Daniels, but that's not a bad strategy. DJ Moore, Waddle. I like this wide receiver room. Brings back a couple more running backs. I like that. A little bit of Chicago action. Cincinnati, Miami stacks in game 16, I think. Yeah, don't mind that. Champ goes Amon-Ra, Bowers, Josh Allen, Travis Hunter, James Conner, Dave Montgomery, Darnell Mooney. Might have to catch up a touch at wide receiver, but that's fine. That's easy to do. You can make that happen. Steve goes Malik Neighbors, Derrick Henry, Mike Evans, Ted McMillan, Kenny Walker, Jordan Addison, Quinchon at 83. Dang, that's nice. That feels really nice to get Quinchon there. That's nice to get with Walker. And that just opens so many doors. Brings in Baker to pair up with Mike Evans. Yeah. Steve's really doing it. He's really doing it. That's a good looking squad. I like that one. Honestly, though, like, it could be a touch precarious at wide receiver, but obviously injury or suspension potential. Ted McMillan's a rookie. Mike Evans could be an injury issue for him at some point. Let's do Jaden Higgins over Burden for sure. I'm not sure if I had him ranked above Burden, but I should. Pick 100 and Burden's 87. Wow, I'm gonna have to change that. Scadaboo's a good click. Jordan Mason's a good click. But I'm going to go Justin Fields to pair up with my Garrett Wilson. I'd like to get a New Orleans Saints somewhere in here. Pairs up with Pollard and the Jets there. So that could work if it makes some sense, but we'll see. It's not necessary. Not necessary. Yeah, I bet you're happy with the Judkins fall. That feels really nice. But yeah, I was going to say with the wide receivers, obviously Neighbors is a smash. Nothing wrong with that. Mike Evans, if he's injury concern there, we got rookie Ted McMillan and then Jordan Addison with the suspension issue. As long as if Addison gets suspended for, let's say, 4 games and Mike Evans gets injured, let's say he does, I'm not wishing that on him at all, obviously, but let's say he gets injured after week 4, then it kind of washes out as long as then it comes down to Ted. Then your wide receiver room comes down to Ted McMillan. But there's tons of draft to go. I'm just saying it could be looked at as somewhat precarious, but I do like this team a lot. So I'm not trying to throw any shade at you, Steve. That's for sure. Quinshawn had been falling for no reason at all that I can surmise. All these rookie running back prices seem to have fallen half a round, which they typically do. Typically, they get steamed up quick and early as soon as the draft's open. People that wait until the NFL draft to draft these players then come into the best ball streets as soon as they have a home. And, then they get pushed up. And then once they realize they're reaching for, there's no value there. Like realistically, I like Quinshawn, probably Caleb as well over Tony Pollard. I have them, ranked over Tony Pollard as well. But this was just the right click for this team for me. But I have bags and bags of Quinshawn and Caleb, mostly Quinshawn, bags and bags, and I'll keep taking them. I still think that he's got value at ADP. Like I don't know why he's falling either. I really don't. I've seen it too. I've ranked at 66. His ADP is 74, half a round. I'll still take him at my rank. Like anytime I'm at the 1 and he's there at 72, 73, I'm taking him pretty much every single time. I'm trying to honestly watch that. And, Best Ball Overlay is a great tool for that with the combination tool, which is here. So I'm trying to watch that a little bit if I have too much of Quinshawn with Jamar Chase, but I think it's a fantastic click there. I really, really do. Being on the Browns is a good reason to fade. Fair. We weren't fading Chubb though, were we? I was going to take Kyle Williams for sure. So that kind of stinks. With Diggs, hey? Okay. So he's going Drake May, obviously. But I was going to take Kyle Williams there. Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart when you see it happen. But that's okay. This guy's got no quarterbacks yet. And does it really make sense? I'm just going to take Dak here. I mean, Mark Andrews looks really nice right here, but I'm just going to bring in Dak. Too important to my team. I'm done at quarterback now. Double stack. It's just too important. I have to take Dak there. I can't risk pushing him. So let's just do that. And there goes Andrews. That kind of stinks. And Charbonnet was my other click. Okay. Well, that's stinky. We could go Loveland here. Let's do Ramondre. Makes a lot of sense for me. Let's do that. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I debated Addison. I'm pretty low in ownership so far, so I thought I'd get another share. That's fair. I actually try to avoid in these like 3 max types of tournaments. I try to avoid guys that I'm low on. Yeah, I do that typically. I know sometimes it's a leverage piece. I get that, but I don't. Maybe if it's like a massive amount of ADP value, then I will do it for sure. Almost every time, then I will. That's where I'll get my leverage share against myself, leveraged against myself, right? But typically in these 3 max tourneys, I don't really love to do that. If I have low ownership, that's why I have it set for all tournaments, so I know where my ownership is. But that's just my take and my preference. So it doesn't mean it's right. That's for sure. I love Quinshawn pre-draft, but I don't think he can overcome the organization ineptitude. Yeah, I mean, I just like Kevin Stefanski as a play caller, and the offensive line is in pretty okay shape, I think. So we weren't fading Chubb in a similar type of a situation, and I really like Quinshawn. So I think he can succeed, and he can catch a lot of balls in that offense. I know they have a couple pass catching type of running backs, but no one on that team is like Quinshawn Judkins. Like, Ford and Dylan Sampson, they're not like Quinshawn Judkins. So I'm just betting on the talent. I draft a lot of Quinchon, fully aware he is a bust unless he's the next Nick Chubb, which he could be. Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be Nick Chubb. Like 1,000 yards, 8 total touchdowns. Let's say 1,200 total yards, 8 total touchdowns. He kind of pays off that ADP in the, what are we, 8th round, 7th round, sorry. 7th round ADP. I think he kind of pays that off right there with like the Tony Pollards of the world, Pacheco's of the world. Yeah. Caleb, like, and I think that's fully achievable. I really, really do. If Chuba Hubbard can do more than that on the Panthers last year, I like Quinchon a heck of a lot more than Chuba Hubbard. So my Quinchon concern is that he can't break tackles, usually a strong indicator, success metric. Same reason I faded Corum last year. If you can't break tackles in college, good luck in the NFL. I mean, I was a full fade on Corum last year too. I did not and do not like play Corum at all. I'd have to look at that. He also wasn't like a full-time player. What was it like at Ole Miss? I'd be more concerned or interested in that, indicator and metric with his carries at Ole Miss than I would be at Ohio State personally. But I'd have to look into that. Very fair. Pouring salt in the wound. Key indicator of RB success is yards per catch. Need to be over 10. Came in around 7. I mean, again, what was it at Ole Miss? That would be my bigger concern. All of these metrics and numbers for me, it'd be more important what he did at Ole Miss than what he did at Ohio State. For me. We are not going to take Jake Ferguson. We are going to take one of these running backs. So it's either Ray Day or Rashad White. And I will take both if they're both there. So let's take Ray Davis first. A little higher on him. Plus he pairs with Cleveland. That's fun. So let's do Ray Day. And I will take Rashad if he's here. Or take Bigsby. I kind of want to get a little more take Bigsby. I mean, I'm eating my words with what I just said to Steve if I do take Tank, but I want to get that higher. It's a 1.5%. That's kind of I took him in a puppy and that's it. That's sort of unacceptable. It just goes in a weird range where like I like Ray Davis, I like Rashad White, and I like Tyler Algier in this range. But we'll get White over Tank for sure. Yeah. It's a fun looking team. Should be able to stop at 7 wide receivers. So that's good. That leaves me open to take 3 tight ends, which is what I want to do. I like the way this team's coming together a lot more than the first pug over there. Avoiding your fades and smaller entries makes sense. Leverage play only would make sense if a high price point relative to portfolio, in my opinion. I agree with this. Like that's typically where I'm going to do it, unless there's just a massive amount of ADP value. If that happens, then yeah, I'll do it. I'll take them. Like if it's 8 picks or more, depending on the player. If it's 8 picks or more, then I'll probably just take the player and get that leverage against yourself regardless. But yeah, it does make a little more sense to leverage in those high values or high dollars. I do kind of agree with that. So Quinchon is Chubber. He's a bust is my take. Still drafting him. That's fair. I mean, I don't think he has to be quite what Nick Chubb was. I really don't to not be considered a bust, but that's fair if that's your take. Yeah, that's a fair point about not doing guys I'm lower on these small max tournaments. I think that's a good call. I just think like, yeah, $6, 3 max, or sorry, $12, 3 max. Like again, if you're getting that ADP value, then do it. I would do it then for sure. Like that's easy to do, no question. But at ADP, I would have a hard time taking a guy like, yeah, that I'm lower on, that's just me. Doesn't mean I'm right, just kind of my take on it. I won't be taking another quarterback. So it'll probably be a 2-6-7-3, most likely build is probably what we're going to be staring down the barrel of. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I don't need to be in a hurry to take my 7th wide receiver either. So we'll see. We'll see where it kind of lands. Caught up with the chat, but if you're just popping in, maybe you're new to the channel, you're watching the show, you like the content, you like the takes, hit that subscribe button, help me out. If you're a fan of the channel, hit the like button for me. Appreciate that. We got one more draft to do. We're going to rip our final pug number 3 to max enter this sucker. I'm really not happy this guy just took Zach Ertz. That really, really makes me angry. Same guy who stole Kyle Williams from me. Mind you, he took him double stack Drake May. I get that. But he's got Jaden. Okay. That's just really frustrating. You didn't want to try to push him. I really wanted Zach Ertz to be my bring back on the Washington side. I'm not particularly a fan of any other bring back for the Commanders, if I'm being honest. So probably just going to be naked there. Well, I mean, it's double stacked, so whatever. Again, you don't have to be perfect in these types of structures. You don't have to be perfect, so I won't be. Which I won't be. Xavier Leggett might be my click here if he falls to me. Not super duper high on him, but it's a game stack week 16 with Rashad White. Pretty good amount of ADP value. Okay, he goes. That's fine. Then I'm just going to take Brenton Strange here. Get my first tight end. Pairs up with Jonathan Taylor. Cool. Let's do it. Let's get Brenton Strange in there. Not in a massive hurry to take. I mean, Wandale. Does Wandale make sense for this team? He kind of does. Let's take Wandale, I guess. Let's take Wandale. Yeah, let's take Wandale Robinson. It does make sense for this team. And then we're done at wide receiver. So it's a running back and 2 more tight ends, which puts me in a pretty good spot. I'm happy about that. Maybe I should have taken Mike Gesicki there. Probably would have been a better click, but we're all right. We're all right. Just a week 17 bring back with Ramondre for the field side. I'm not going to get any bringbacks for Dak, but not that really matters. I've got some other game correlation, namely Judy and Metcalf, Brenton Strange and Jonathan Taylor for week 17. So that is good enough, I think. You really don't have to be perfect in these. You really don't. I'm not a Ja'Cory Cross game Eric guy. I'm not drafting him personally. I think there's a lot there. I think there's a lot and too many ifs and buts in that conversation about Ja'Cory Krosky merit personally. But if you like him, take him. Are you ever clicking Jets pass catcher outside of Wilson or Taylor? No, I'm not. Like, we'll see what some buzz happens, but like, even with pretty tough clicks, man. Like, I'm really not. Like, who are you going to take? Lazard or Arian Smith. Like, I'm just trying to pull up Justin Fields' numbers when he was with Chicago. I think it was 2022. And I believe DJ Moore got hurt a little bit that year. It was the year that Mooney was a 1,000-yard receiver, which was 2001. Oh, yeah, and he was the main guy. So, yeah, like, it's just not going to, like, he's not going to support more than 2 pass catchers, period. Like, he's really not. And it's 1 wide receiver and 1 tight end, maybe 2 tight ends, like possibly. Yeah. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. Looking at like Justin Fields' stats, like he's not going to be able to support. So no, I'm not. And even if there's like massive camp buzz, which there already has been, I heard there's some buzz around Arian Smith. He's unguardable or some shit. The dude's like 5'8" and super fast. So yeah, in shorts, he's going to be unguardable. I'm not clicking any other pass catchers. No, I'm not. Corley would be the only other name. I'm not clicking any of them either. No, I'm not. I'm just not clicking them. Like, he just is not able to support. He's able to support 1 wide receiver, and that's Garrett Wilson. He's able to support at least 1 tight end, and that's Mason Taylor. If it is 2 tight ends, it's Jeremy Ruckert, who I do have some shares in the big board of Ruckert. So, yeah, I'll take Mason Taylor. It makes sense. Like, I wasn't gonna force it, but at almost 10 picks of ADP value, then yeah, like, give me Taylor. Makes sense to do it. Kind of a super, super, super easy click there. Just makes too much sense, really. A lot of running backs in this area that I can take and feel happy about. So, okay. I was going to take Lloyd, and if Lloyd wasn't there, then I was going to take Johnson. So let's just take Juwan Johnson. Plays the Jets. He's a great click down here for my third tight end. I think it makes tons of sense. I have him again, which I don't love. I have him in both these teams so far, so I will not take Jonathan Taylor. I will not take Juwan Johnson. And that's it for my next draft. Those 2 will not, period, be on that team. So if you're drafting with me in the next draft, feel free to take Juwan Johnson or Jonathan Taylor. I will not be drafting those 2. Let's catch up on the chat here. Does anyone have more info on any Marshawn Lloyd FUD? What's the latest? Supposedly it looks good. He's fully healthy. I like Marshawn Lloyd a lot. Mostly it's because I'm not super duper high on Jacobs this year. I'm concerned about his touch volume from last year and what he's done post massive amount of touches previously in his career. He's not that old, but cold weather, all those touches. I'm pretty high on Marshawn Lloyd myself. Damn, did not expect Ray to go before the 18th round. Ray-Ray McLeod, wow, yeah. Arizona Ant-Man. I like Ray. I'll take him in the 18th for sure. But you could maybe had him queued. I don't know. Maybe that's just the guy you wanted. Bring back. I don't know. I take some Arian Smith. Fair enough. I wouldn't recommend it personally. Yeah. I mean, you could get that like week 17 guy you need, Pat Kerrane magic with Tyquan Thornton kind of situation. Maybe that's it. And if that happens, then there you go. But trace amounts. Yeah, fair enough. Like if you're just backstacking Justin Fields or something, or he's a bring back for, the Patriots or something, then okay. Unstacked Penix it is. Oh, that hurt. Hey, that hurt. Arizona Mountain Man. Just breaking hearts over here. Maybe he wanted Penix right here. With the Arizona bring back. And Drake London. Yeah. Arizona Mountain Man. You just getting back to Steve on that? Hey, is that what happened there? It's not an issue if Arian Smith gets open. It's an issue to catch the ball. Exactly. Like, he's going to get open in shorts. I'll promise you that. I'll promise you that right now. His size and speed in shorts, he's going to look like a fucking burner. But yeah, I'm not too worried about Arian Smith personally. Meg won't let you click Ray 2 times in the same week or what? The wide receiver is designed to win 1v1 drills, not cornerback. No one could guard. Exactly. That's, yeah. Case in point. She must have called in a favor. There you go. Push just Taylor to the third for OTS to really test him. Or push Taylor to third to really test him. Yeah, I mean, in the third, if it's like middle of the third, yeah, I'll take Jonathan Taylor on all three of my pug teams. You bet your ass, man. You bet your ass. So do it. Do it. Test me. I'll take him. I will take him there. Pretty wide open at running back here. Yeah, not too much to be concerned about, but I'm going to take Estime if he's there. Then I don't have a single overlapping buy in my running back room, and I like Estime 23% right now. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, this guy might be watching the stream or what? Do I take Ja'Cory Kroski Merritt here? No, I don't. Let's take Taj Brooks, I guess. I don't love that click. Probably should have been Jerome Ford. Should have been Jerome Ford. But I just didn't want to take another Cleveland Brown is really what it is. Yeah. I don't love that last click. It would have been really nice if Estime was there for me. WV. You in the chat? I would have taken Estime there for sure. We ended up with Dustin Fields, Dak Prescott, Jonathan Taylor, Tony Pollard, Ramondre Stevenson, Ray Davis, Rashad White, Taj Brooks. I mean, any one running back's fine there with the rest of this room. So that's fine. CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, George Pickens, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Higgins, Wan'Dale Robinson, Brenton Strange, Mason Taylor, and Juwan Johnson. Double stacked Dallas, double stacked the New York Jets. Not that it was necessary, just kind of fell that way. It really did. It really did. I didn't have to take Pickens, but really, like, he was the click for me there. He was the top of my rankings. So, yeah. I don't mind this team. This could do some damage. It really could. Let's do our final pug, guys. Let's rip it. The final pug, max entered, 20-second clock. We're jumping in right now. Waiting on 2. Hopefully I'm like pick 11 or 12. That's where I'd like to be. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, good draft. Sorry, I'm not going over the teams tonight just because it's going to be a long episode already, ripping 3 drafts on stream. So I didn't want to, I just didn't have time, to be honest, to go over all the drafts, all the teams, you know. Sometimes we got to just volume draft our way through it. Pick number 2. All right, I'm going to have to do something different. I mean, I could go CD again, really. I do like CD a lot. But, I mean, with my ranks or what I was just saying earlier about, like, how much it makes sense to pull up running backs, pull up quarterbacks, maybe I just take a running back here, like either a Bijan or a Gibbs. Probably Bijan. I think it's fine to take Lamb. So who do I end up with? 20, 23, 20. There's just a lot of wide receivers down here, though. So let's do that. Let's take a running back. Could just be Barkley, but if this was a high roller, like $100, $250 or something like that, then I would leverage against myself and take Barkley. But let's take Bijan. Let's take Bijan. Let's do that. I think it makes sense. There's a lot of wide receivers at the 2-3 turn. So let's do that. Just missed this draft. Oh man. Billy Jones in the chat. Go give Billy Jones a follow. Big brain Billy Jones. I'll have to have you on again. I don't know if I'm going to make it tomorrow. I got a draft or a golf tournament tomorrow, but I want to put something together where we're talking numbers. So Billy, I'm going to reach out to you. We'll get you back on. I want to talk some numbers I put together using your numbers, and just conversations like that are good to have, I think. So I'll reach out, and maybe this week we'll get you on. CMC at the 2 spot. That actually is not a bad thing to do in this tournament. It's really not. It's really not in this tournament, in this structure. 8 crazy nights. I like that. That's funny. We got Steve in the 9 spot there. Big old kitties. I love that name. I don't know who that is. Is that somebody in the chat maybe? It's a sweet name. I've drafted with this guy or girl, but I don't know who that is. Slope, like that name. Steve goes Nico. Steve goes Nico. Yeah, I definitely won't be taking Jonathan Taylor, even if he's there, unless he's there at 26. If he's there in the 3rd, I'll take Jonathan Taylor. But if he's I'm not taking him at 23. I'll say that. Even if he is there, I will not. I can't have him in all 3 drafts. Cannot. Just can't do it. And then I also kind of have to, don't have to, but Tyreek isn't exactly a guy that I want. Garrett Wilson isn't exactly someone I want, so we'll see how this kind of plays out. Yeah, we maxed the puppy. Jesus, just so rusty. We maxed the pug tonight. 3 max. We're done with that. I'm going to finish up with drafting some schnauzers. So if you guys got any schnauzers left over, I'm going to be ripping those off stream tonight. I'm going to go watch F1's quali that I didn't watch yet. If you're an F1 fan, shout out. Big F1 fan myself. So I'm going to go watch the quali after this, rip a couple schnauzies, and then get ready for a little golf tournament tomorrow. That's my weekend. I'm excited. T. Higgins goes. We got Bucky, Jacobs. I'm going to go McBride. I like McBride here. And it pairs up with Bijan. And it opens the door for 2 tight ends in this structure, which I don't mind. So let's go McBride. Do it. Let's bring in, I'm going to do something a little aggressive and bring up Devontae Adams here. And then I'm like pretty stacked up for my top 3 picks. Obviously, I have the game correlation there in week 17 with Devontae and Bijan. Pretty game stacked up. Not that like, again, is super necessary, but I probably won't be bringing in, if any quarterback I bring in, it's going to be Kyler, actually. So, but that also doesn't make a ton of sense if I'm trying to like game stack there, but it might, like, it's fine to do it regardless. So it's going to be Kyler. It's not going to be Stafford, and it's not going to be Penix. So we'll see where this goes, but I kind of like that. That's the only way to draft, you betcha. That and a nap is why I missed this draft. That's how she goes. Yeah, my wife's pregnant, as most of you know, so I'm helping her out with that, is what I'll say about that situation. I'm supporting her, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah. You hate to see it, but you got to do it. Oof. Biggest board and a bigger board, I assume you mean here? Because a 250 and a 100? Oof. That hurts. Yeah, that hurts. Appreciate that, man. I hope she agrees, because, yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. Still having a couple beers here and there, but yeah, that hurts, man. That hurts. I would be pretty upset with myself if if I took a nap and missed a friggin' auto drafted a bigger and a biggest board. Geez, I'd be pretty unhappy with myself, as I'm sure you were. I like my start. So yeah, nothing's forced here. I could even bring in Joe Burrow on this team. I really could. And quarterbacks are getting pushed up. So it actually wouldn't be the worst plan to just take Joe Burrow and game stack it with Trey McBride. I'll do this. I'll take Joe Burrow at 50. If this drafter passes on him, then I will probably just take Joe Burrow, but he should take him, and we'll see how it works out. Yeah. I'll take either one of these wide receivers first. That's for sure. And we'll go like this. Whichever one's there, I'll take them. Probably prefer Worthy, I suppose. Massive value. Get away from bye week 8. So let's do that. Opens a quarterback door that I don't mind. Takes Burrow. Okay, cool. That's the right click. I think I just got to take Jameson Williams here. I like him a lot. And a couple picks of value. Makes some sense. Yeah, let's go Jameson. Now I just kind of got to watch bye week 8. It's not the end of the world at all. I just got to be just a little conscious about bye week 8. Should be fine. Should be fine. Only did that once in my first BBM. Ended up with just Komet at tight end. Ouch. Yeah. If it's a BBM, it hurts, but it's not the end of the world. But a biggest board and a bigger board, you're not very happy about, borderline putting a match to $350. Like I'll put a match to a $5 bill most days, but $250 bill, that's another story altogether, right? We see how you are missing the Hound Dog, so we can imagine you auto drafting a biggest and a bigger turn just because of a nap. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt, eh? No doubt. We'll see if they do launch something else. Steve was saying, yeah, maybe they will. A lower price entry tournament. It's very possible, but I don't think so. I think there's going to be a little bit of a lull. And the next tournament, it'll probably be, like I said, a poodle earlier in the show. I think the poodle won. I love the poodles. I had a team in the finals last year in the poodle. And I think the year before that, I had a finals team in the poodle, or poodle 1, 2, one of the poodles. So they've been pretty good to me. So I'll max out all the poodles for sure. That actually is one of my favorite tournaments to draft, is the poodle. So yeah, that's or like a Pomeranian maybe might be next. Am I drafting Burton? I'm thinking I'd rather gamble on Burton Sealand than Yoshi. Actually, I'm taking Yoshi Voss quite a bit, and I'm not drafting Burton. There's no way I'm falling into the Burton trap. I am not falling into the Burton trap. I'm not drafting him. No. Too many red flags for me. And we're not even sure that he's talented. Like, maybe he is, but we are not sure at all that he is talented. So, nah. Yeah, impressing at camp. He was impressing at camp last year. The mental red flags, like, no way. No way. And I've seen Yoshi Voss do it. I'm 26% Yoshi Voss, 0% Burton. I'm in on Yoshi. Like, these numbers don't lie. Putting on some muscle, putting on some weight in the offseason. It's his 3rd year in this offense. Smart kid, went to Princeton, right? Like, no, give me Yoshi. I am out on Burton. I will not be drafting Burton. No way. No way, no how. You can't make me draft him. I'm waiting for several months of positive reports for touching Burton. One good report. Yeah, exactly. I am not touching Burton. And like, as a Bengals fan, they reward players like Yoshi Voss. They reward their long-time kind of veteran type of guys. So no way, man. No way I'm touching Burton. Easy. Easy click. That's an easy click. Yeah, I'll take Jennings without a second of hesitation. Half a round of value. You betcha. You betcha. Could be Quinchon here. Olave with a huge drop. Probably Olave. It's probably Olave. If not, then yeah, I will take Judkins again. This is just a range too. Like this range is why I'm taking a lot of Judkins. Like there's nothing here that I'm like, oh, I have to have that player. Like there's really nothing that it's like, wow, yeah, oh, this guy's here. That's a massive value. So yeah, give me Judkins, especially just the way I'm trying to build this year. Let's do that. Numi apparently said in the stream that some new things were coming. I didn't hear it, but Candyman, another guy in comments, were saying apparently rookie and sophomores and Greyhound are soon. The Greyhound's a single entry, I think, right? So yeah, that'd be fine. The rookies and sophomores is kind of sweet. I actually was literally thinking about that the other day, that they might just wait until post-draft to launch it. It's usually a pre-draft contest, but that makes sense. And I will be drafting a lot of the rookies and sophomore. We'll see how long it stays open for. It's another one that fills super quick, but maybe they make it bigger, which is very possible and likely, and why they waited till post-draft to launch it. So that'd be cool. That'd be cool. And I think the Greyhound is a single entry, right? Yeah, single entry Greyhound. So that'd be fine. They can do that. And the rookies and sophomores, I'd like that. So yeah, let's do it. Sign me up. Sign me up. I think that makes a lot of sense. Make the rookies and sophomores tournament bigger and, last longer draft wise, because it fills in like 4 days. Again, it was like the Hound Dog, fills in like less than a week, a couple days, and it's full. So clearly there's an appetite. So yeah, I like that. I like that. That's fair. I wish Cincinnati would ignore his attitude and let him cook. Trade him for profits. He spent the capital for what? I mean, I don't know what he's cooking. Yeah, cook what? I agree with that, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I agree with all this. Like, yeah, dude. He's got issues. He had major red flags in college, and we all knew that. So, like, the Bengals do that all the time. They take chances on guys. They give them a second chance, whatever, i.e. Joe Mixon, right? But, like, if you're not going to do it, then they'll probably still take chances on you and they'll give him an opportunity, but I'm not buying into him at all. Like, I agree. Like I said, we don't even know if Burton's good at all. We don't know if he's a good football player. So I agree. Like, what's he cooking, man? Like, so yeah. That's not how the world works, Dirty P. There are talentless people with great attitudes or more senseless savants with negative attitudes. Absolutely. Exactly. Yeah, I'm so done on Jermaine Burton. I will not touch him. I will not. When Burton and Jacory Krosky Merritt are the guys you need, it's going to feel like sleeping through a few drafts. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I could be wrong. I agree. I hope they make it a bigger contest. That makes a lot of sense, man. That makes a lot of sense. So that'd be fun. Burton, Jacory, Eli Mitchell hit lines would be a nightmare or a dream for you, right? Dream come true for you. So depends on how you're looking at it, right? It's too possible this guy could take Kyler. So let's just take Kyler here. Let's do that. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel good. I like Josh Downs. I would have potentially taken Bird in there. I got to take Josh Downs here. Just fits too well with my team, and I'm pretty high on Josh Downs. It's Downs or Scatabo, but Scatabo. But I'm going to take Josh Downs with Bijan and Quinchon. Yeah. This is a nice looking squad. This is a really nice looking squad as far as advance rate is concerned, which is our biggest concern in this structure, in this tournament. So I like that. I like that a lot. Totally different. Got screwed by NCAA. And an injury, wasn't it? He got hurt too. Or no, it was NCAA, I believe. Did he get hurt? Yeah, he did get hurt for a full season. Oh, no, eligibility issues. Okay, that's right. So it wasn't an injury at all. Okay. I thought he had an injury, though, but I guess not. Trade Burton to Kansas City. Man, if anyone will trade us anything for Burton, I'll take it. Any sort of draft capital for Jermaine Burton, I'll take it. Hear me out. What if Jamar Chase and Diggins are the receivers you want to target in Cincinnati? Maybe Mike Gesicki? And then if not, Yoshi Boss. That's how I'm looking at it. But yeah, I feel you. I kind of like the constants fill in a week. It really helps fuel the degeneracy. It depends on if they're max. Like if you can max enter it in a week, like if you can max enter it in, like again, if I wasn't away at a work function that I didn't have, I couldn't be just smashing drafts, I would have maxed the Hound Dog. No problem. But, I thought I would be able to have more than 4 friggin' days to draft this thing. You sickos filled it before I could even get a shot at it. So, that's just crazy enough to work, right? Zig when they sag. I don't have a ton of any of those guys either, but I'm not missing 18th round clicks with a path. Dismissing 18th round clicks with the path. Yeah, fair. I wouldn't recommend much more than 2 to 4% tops, but I'm just not doing it. That's just where I'm at. I'm not doing it. Yeah, his eligibility. I knew that. I thought there's an injury too. I knew he had an injury, or sorry, an eligibility thing. But I thought there was an injury in there too. So my bad. I'm still not like there's still just like two. He was still a 7th round pick, guys. Like there's still too many ifs and buts with that conversation. Like Jeremy McNichols is legitimately ahead of him right now on the depth chart. 100%. And you can't convince me any differently. So I just think there's too many ifs and buts in that conversation. And I don't like to play that game realistically, unless there's merit to it, which I don't particularly think there is. Let's do Tootin. Let's be fun. He's a guy that I like enough to take him in one share of him in a 3 max tournament. Couple picks of value. Maybe it's a terrible click, but I'm taking him. I'm still believing in my guy, Bashal Tootin. What am I going to do at quarterback here? Well, what I'm going to do is take Drake May. I'm fine with naked Drake May, and that's probably how it's going to end up. Maybe I take, Hunter Henry, but I am not getting locked out at quarterback in this structure, especially if I get like 2 rushing quarterbacks. I might take a third. And it might be Matt Stafford. That actually kind of makes some sense for this room. Especially when I'm only taking 2 tight ends. That might be what we do. We'll see. We will see. There's no merit, but there is Ja'Cory Krosky merit. Do your thing, man. Like if you guys like him, take him. I'm not, I'm always willing to be wrong. I'm always willing to admit that I could be completely wrong. So go nuts. I'm drafting Brashard Smith at 20, 30%, and he was a 7th round click too. So yeah, there you go. Take Ja'Cory Krosky, JMC, JCM, whatever his acronym is. Take him if you like him. I'm just not. I just think like looking at what the running backs did in that offense already last year, and like the theory would be that Jayden Daniels takes a step forward in his game with the pass catchers. Like, this is probably just what Brian Robinson is, most likely. But Jeremy McNichols is like the number 3 on this team. That's for sure. Like, the dude's been in the league a long time. And if you've been in the league a long time as a running back and like barely playing, but you're still getting a shot and you're still in the league, like, that goes a long way. It honestly does. And, C-Rod's still there. Chris Rodriguez is still there. Like, he's kind of a dude too. Like, I'm not taking Krosky Merritt, man. I'm not. You can't make me take him. No, I agree. Not yet, but keep his name in mind. Yeah, I mean, I've had his name in the back of my head since the big board. It's just, yeah, I didn't like him enough then either. I mean, he could be like that. I mean, there's way more opportunity for James Robinson. Like, James Robinson, I believe, was the MVP of the Shrine Bowl as well. Back in the day when he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars, had a 1,000-yard season, looked really good. He was awesome. Yeah, fun. But yeah, there was an easier path to everything, touches, carries, targets, everything for James Robinson than there was or is, for Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. They're a little too loaded in the running back room for me to look at his name realistically. Moss will probably still have a role for sure. Like I said, the Bengals always like to kind of reward vets and play vets. It's always been a thing for the kind of franchise. But it'll just depend on if Taj Brooks just like kind of takes the role, and it is what it is. I'm not going to go tight end here. It might be the correct click, but I'm just not doing it. Ray Day was there. Could be Garendo, but let's take Josh Palmer. I like him a lot, so let's take Josh Palmer. I want some shares of him in this structure with a 3 max. If I like him that much, then I kind of have to get some exposure to him in this tournament. It probably would have been Ray Davis again. But man, it is windy out. I hope something's not getting knocked over. What if I lose power, guys? Something got knocked over and we're out. Let's do Tank. I was talking about Tank earlier. I mean, I kind of like this too. Yes, with Bayshall. Let's do it. Let's do it. If Etienne's the guy, then I'm kind of fucked, but I really don't think he is. And regardless, one of these two are going to have a role. I really don't like Travis Etienne. I had 0% Etienne last year, and I think I have 0 right now. No, 1.5. Okay. And it's just in a puppy. So I kind of like this. I'm kind of hoping that I'm locking down the Jags running back, the one you need, with Bijan, with Quinshon. I kind of like this, but it is kind of closing the door on 3 QBs, which is not the end of the world. I mean, I think I can get by with Kyler and Drake May. I really do. So we'll see. But I think I closed the door on 3 quarterbacks in this team, but we'll see. But yeah, they always like to reward the vets, always, which is why Yoshi's still going to have a role, I think, over Burton. I think Moss will have the initial, but it was a back injury last year, and those can always be a little finicky. Taj Brooks is kind of a dude. I like Taj Brooks a lot. So he could just win it. They're not afraid to give a rookie carries. They just don't really love to do it, and it doesn't happen very often. Even with Chase Brown, he didn't get love until later on in the season, as a rookie. And then, like, looking at his stats, like, as a rookie, he didn't get love at all until late in the season. And then even it took an injury to Moss for him to really take off in his second season. So it's kind of like it is tough to bank on a guy like Taj Brooks over a Moss. So I'm kind of being careful with how much I'm drafting Taj Brooks. I think I've only got like a couple percent. 1.5. Yeah, I took him in a pug and I took him in a BBM. That's it. Two drafts in 90 about. So I'm really being careful on how much I'm drafting Taj Brooks, and I don't really like Zach Moss, but that injury door is always open for a vet like Moss, especially when it was a back injury. There's always that concern with any football player, but especially running backs. Necks, backs, massive concerns, right, for those positions. So yeah, that's my long-winded take on that one. I'm not sure if you even get anything out of that, but there you go. That's my long-winded take on Taj. It's looking like a 2-6-8-2 team is what this is looking like. So what do we want to do? Noel could make some sense here. Wow, Isaiah Likely has really fallen, but okay, there he goes. That's fine. I was going to take Thielen. Okay, he's gone. So let's take Noel. I'm 20% Noel. I like him. I like him quite a bit. Let's go Jalen Noel. Works with my bye weeks. So that feels good too. And then if this guy doesn't take, this guy picked Stroud too, didn't he? He does have Higgins. Okay. Stroud to bet Texans fan. Stroud to be Texans fan. Okay. Stroud to be. I get it. That's kind of a cool name. So let's just take Henry here. Pair up my quarterbacks with their tight ends. I really like that strategy. With rushing quarterbacks. I really like that strategy a lot with rushing quarterbacks. So I do it with Justin Fields a lot as well. And then I've got some game stack stuff baked in here, which I like. Obviously, like Atlanta Rams, Indy, Jacksonville, Indy, San Francisco right here. And I can mix in a little bit more as well. Buffalo, Cleveland, Arizona, Atlanta. So I've got enough like correlation in this structure. So it's going to be 2 running backs and a wide receiver to wrap this sucker up, I think is what we're going to do. For me, the bet is that Debo and Eckler are dust, and the other guys in RB room haven't distinguished themselves as above replacement. Yeah, that's fair. I think Debo gets a lot more run in the running game, like more run at running back in this offense. I think that's why they didn't take a running back until the 7th round. I think Debo is going to get more carries than we're thinking. But we'll see. He could just be dust. Eckler definitely could be dust. That's fair. But I think they like a guy like Dan Quinn likes security and professionalism and things like that. So Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols, they both had a role on this team last year. So I just don't see as much of a path as other people do. Disbanded, what's up, brother? Thanks for coming in. Burton is absolutely a loose cannon. Absolutely a loose cannon. I appreciate the detailed take, especially when it's the team you're a fan of. You probably have a better insight than most. I think I do. I have a pretty good handle on my Bengals, I think. So that's my take. That's my take on it. That's my take. I'm not drafting Zach Moss either, though. Like, I'm just taking, Chase Brown. I'm not even really taking a lot of Chase Brown. His price is a little inflated for me. So we'll see. But if I don't mind clicking Chase Brown, I would do it. But I have a hard time clicking Taj Brooks. I will get a few shares, though, right? I will get a few shares like I did earlier in the stream. Just took them in the last draft. So there you go. But again, that's only the 2nd time. So we're doing this. We're doing this. I'm going to take Giddens. I really like Giddens. I want him. And I don't mind doubling up on the Indy side with 2 Jacksonville players on my roster and a San Francisco player. So I like that. Let's take Giddens. Kind of, plays off my Jonathan Taylor with my other 2 drafts as well. So I kind of dig that. And it just makes too much sense to take Yoshi here. Again, considering how much I like him, and there he goes. Okay. Let's do. I don't want Slayton again. Let's do Woody Marks. I have Jalen. Oh, no. I have Jalen Noel. This probably wasn't the click. I really thought Yoshi Voss was going to be there. That hurts. I do like Woody Marks, though. I just didn't really want him with Jalen Noel when there's no like bringbacks to speak of either. It just really doesn't make sense. So that's all right. I don't know about this running back room. It could really work. Yeah. Bijan really helps it, really makes it look nicer than it is, but yeah, kind of panic picked Woody Marks there. But I do like him. And like I said, if I like a player, I want some exposure in these minimum, like 3 max type of tournaments, types of structures. Yoshi would have been perfect there, though. Made too much sense. We're going to take a wide receiver to wrap this one up. Yeah, always a maybe. It's always maybe, right? I think Davis was FUD comping Chase to Kenyon Drake on a pod. Sounded kind of fair, maybe too close for comfort. Chase and Kenyon Drake, I really don't think they're anything similar. Maybe they are like player type, but Kenyon Drake, I think, was quite large. Like he was like 220, wasn't he? 210? Yeah, 6'1", 210 was Kenyon Drake. Like that's quite a bit bigger than Chase Brown. And he was probably more like 220 later in his career when he had that big year. Yeah, 5'9", 209. Oh, that's annoying. Get out of here. Yeah, I wouldn't make that comp personally, but okay. That wouldn't be my comp. I'll say that. All that. Do I take Jermaine Burton here? No, I don't. Let's do. I kind of feel like it's got to be Calvin Austin here. Gets me some correlation, some week, 16 and 17 game correlation. I like him enough, and I don't have any shares. Wow, that's shocking. I had a bunch of them in the big board, or at least a little bit. So let's do that. That wouldn't be my comp. Drake may or Kenyon Drake, sorry, would not be my comp for Chase Brown. Actually, I might have my comp for Chase Brown. Let's see. Let's see if I have that still in my spreadsheet. From last year. No, it's 2 years ago. Yeah. Sorry, I only have last year and this year in my spreadsheet. So apologies there. Oh no, where did it go? I might have to look on here. My other screen pulled away my my draft board. But that's all right. We did Kyler Murray, Drake May, Bijan Robinson, bunch of other guys, DJ Giddens, Woody Marks, Devontae Adams, Xavier Worthy, Jameson Williams, Juwan Johnson, Josh Downs, Josh Palmer, Jalen Noel, Calvin Austin the third, Trey McBride and Hunter Henry is the team there. Let's catch up with the chat, and then we're going to get out of here for the night. Long stream. First one back in a little while. Appreciate you guys coming in. If you're new to the channel, you like the content, you know the score, hit that subscribe button for me. And if everyone could hit the like button, if you don't mind, I would appreciate that very much. I just don't see a lot of competition for Brown, and Brown is one of the high scoring offenses. Yeah, I think it's Brown or bust. I'm not drafting anyone other than Brown. I'm not taking a ton of Brown either. But I don't see a crazy amount of paths for much of anything for a lot of these other options. So we'll see. The case was that Drake was efficient 1 year, lost that efficiency when he put into more of a bell cow role. I don't think Chase Brown's going to be in a bell cow role either. Like, I just don't. The offense is going to pass a lot again. So, like 200 and something carries again. Someone else will come in and pitch in for another, and they'll probably use both of those two, Taj Brooks and Zach Moss. I guess I could see that being the take or the case, but I don't think I agree with much of that, but that's basically the Davis comp, not as much player and archetype. Okay, fair enough. Like, fair take, I suppose, like if that's kind of the way you see it and the way you think about it, but that's just wouldn't be my take. Chase Brown seems like a plug your nose and taken player like Kyron, only because of the cost, right? Bengals basically did nothing to challenge his position. He has proven to earn the trust of coaches in college and NFL. Definitely. I just don't love the cost. That's why I don't have a crazy amount of him. And it's a tough click if he falls. Like last year, I think he was one of my most drafted players. Smashed him last year. Absolutely smashed him last year. But he was like 10th, 11th round pick, 12th round pick, maybe even. But this year it's a little rich for me, especially when he gets pulled up to the 2-3 turn with the Jamar Chase drafters that are trying to get a little bit unique against the T. Higgins drafters. Mind you, it's getting more and more difficult to take Jamar Chase and T. Higgins at the one spot in the 2-3 turn, because a lot of guys are pulling T. Higgins up a little bit. His ADP is somewhat rising up to like 22. So it's getting tougher and tougher to get that combination. So yeah. Oops. He maybe has a bit of that dead zone RB profile, but we liked his juice a year ago in Bengals. Yeah. Again, it's just tough click. It's tough click with the price. The price tag is a little too much. I clicked a lot of Chase Brown, but would happy to see his price fall back to the 3-4. Yeah, exactly. It's just it's a little too high. And again, the what's dragging it up, what's hurting this is guys are doing that. They're trying to get unique, or they get sniped on T. Higgins and just want to get another piece of that, offense with Jamar Chase. So they bring in Chase Brown, and that just is pulling up his ADP kind of artificially and unjustly for sure. So it's an interesting one, but we'll see where it shakes out. Either way, we maxed the puppy tonight. We did it. There we go. By puppy, I mean pug. I've said the puppy 4 times or something. We maxed the pug tonight, 3 drafts. Hope you guys liked it. We'll be back on Monday night, and then I'm guesting on Tuesday night on the Fantasy Football Garage with Chris the Candyman, who I think is live right now. So go follow him. Go check his channel out. Same thing with Steve. Go check out Steve's channel. He's doing good things. I'm guesting on that show as well on the 20th, I think, or something like that. Plus, there's the Jeopardy that I'm still involved with somewhere. So go follow Steve. Go follow Hartman. He's ripping streams right now, doing great things over there. Appreciate Pepper Tony coming in. Go Ravens. Cheers. Appreciate you guys. We maxed the pug. We'll be back on Monday. Tuesday night, I'm guesting. Like I always say on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight I just won the pug and we win 40K. Have yourselves a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you guys soon.